Hi all, Mike German here from Visual Animation. Right, another video. This one is all about how cloth can affect different objects like logos in this case, and how we're going to use cloth to kind of billow through into the logo and get some really nice effects like the ones you've just seen on the intro here. Really nice effects, lots of different materials we can use here to get these to sell this effect. Okay, so this is obviously one that I've set up. That's going to be included in my Gumroad below. There's a link below. You can take all of these files. There's loads of stills and videos and scene files below for a very, very small cost if you wish. If not, just follow along with the tutorial and you'll be able to get something interesting like this. So we're basically going to be adding turbulence and rotation and attractors into the cloth and reacting it with whatever logo or whatever shape, whatever you want on the front there. We're going to be using that. So let's just start putting this thing together. Let's just start again. Actually, let's just do what we normally do here and just delete everything and start with a blank screen. Right, so what we're going to do then, I'm going to use just the Nike logo. I mean, you can use your own logo, any logo of anything you like. So what you really need to look for is, if you're going to get these online, is just to get an AI file, Illustrator file, like a vector line. That's what we need, a spline that it imports. So I'm just going to import this Nike logo I've got here. There we go, Nike logo. We've got the tick, the swoosh separately, and we've got the logo. So I'm just going to, let's just do the logo for now. Now I'm not going to import it as vector because I just want the spline. I just want a little part of it. So I'll show you. If we import that now, let's just enlarge that because I actually want this to be, let's bring in a figure to show real world scale. So something like that scale is fine. It's just like a big logo on the wall, big kind of plastic, thick, like chunky logo. So let's take away the figure. Right under here, though, if we unfurl these, I just want the splines. So I'm just going to right click and connect and delete those and pop them outside the group and then delete it. So we've just got a spline. Okay, that's all that bit is now. Now then, so we want to add some thickness to this, so we just need to put it in an extrude. So Alt, keep your finger on Alt and extrude, and then extrude it out 100 centimeters. So I think we want to go about 20, something like that, maybe 10. Yeah, that's it, something like that. And now if we go to extrude and caps, I just want to add just a little bevel, just to give it, just a little bit of an edge so the light can catch the edge. So that's the first step. Now we need some cloth. Okay, so we're just going to use a plane. We'll put it in positive Z, sorry, or Z if you're from the US, or I'm not sure who says Z and who says Z across the world really, but I definitely say Z, but I have been saying Z more often these days. Right, so we're going to take the plane, we're going to make it 600 in the width, about 500 in the, sorry, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, 600 in the width, 500 in the height. Now we need loads of segments, so let's go 200 for now. So it's a nice mesh. We might need to go even more than that. So basically that is our cloth that is going to interact with our logo. So to make them interact, we need to add some simulation tags on here. So before we do that, I'm going to put the logo, let's just call that Nike logo so you can see that's it. We're going to put that in a null, and I'm going to call that move logo because it's going to just be moving. Oh, if I can spell. There we go. Okay, so on the logo, we're going to right click and I'm going to add cloth. But I don't want it to act as cloth. And I know you can use a collider, but I've had a few issues with the collider that I might show you in a second. So I use the cloth tag and then I go to mix animation and say 100% pins. So what that will do is it will hold the whole thing down. It won't act as cloth, but it'll have a cloth tag, if you know what I mean, like it will react with cloth objects. So the plane, let's call that cloth. Let's right click and add cloth to that one. So we've got both cloth tags. So if we press play now, I'm fairly sure the Nike logo will fall out of the scene. Okay, it doesn't because I've turned off the gravity. Right, so normally you would see this if the gravity is turned on. Yeah, not the logo. So we've pinned the logo, haven't we? Yeah, we've pinned it there. Look, 100%. It's the cloth that was going to fall out of the scene. Right, so to stop that, we turn off the gravity like that. So everything just stays in the screen like that. Just holds there, nothing's happening. So how do we make movement? How do we get this to look good? All right, we need to add some forces. So we go simulate forces, and we're going to use an attractor. We're going to use rotation, and we're going to use turbulence. Let's just bring all those in. Let's select them all and make them central roughly to the logo, somewhere there. So you've got that in the center. Okay, now what we're going to do with the attractor is we're going to add it to the move logo null. So just drop it under there like that. So that will actually move with the logo when we start to do that. Rotation, we need to bring that down to about 1. It's going to be too strong on 20. Turbulence, let's just push those up a little bit like that, like, I don't know, 15 and 10% scale. Can always change these if it doesn't work. So we've got turbulence, rotation. The attractor is probably a bit strong. Let's just drop those down like that. Use force maybe. And let's just press play. Let's just see what we've got now. Okay. All right, so the attractor is what's pinching this into that center point where we've got the attractor. The rotation, it's not really showing much rotation. Let's just try 3 and see what we get on rotation. I want the cloth to kind of turn. Yeah, I think it's it's turning. It's got a strong attractor on it though. I think that's what the problem is. It's 5. Let's just try 3. Okay, right, so what we need to do to get this effect to look good is we want, let's just try to think of the scale. Let's just bring that down a little bit more as well. Let's just bring the scale down a little bit more just so it's sitting. Yeah, we now need to just bring it up so it's a little bit more central. Okay, let's just, right, so what we want to do is we want to move that logo into the cloth. And then when we put a camera on at the front, we'll have a lot more crease in it. It'll just look a lot more cool to look at. All right, so let's click on the move logo null, right, at the beginning on the timeline at 0, and hit a keyframe. And then, right, we've got 90 frames. Let's go 150 frames, and then let's go about 100, and let's push that through the cloth. So about there is okay, yeah. Just push it through so it clears the back, and then hit another keyframe. So then if we try that again, that will actually move into the cloth. But it's not moving enough. It's not moving quick enough. Okay. The cloth is reacting too quickly at the moment. So let's have a look at some of these forces. Let's bring turbulence down to like 5 and 5. Let's have a look at rotation. Let's bring that down, and then let's look at attractor now. Let's take it off of force. Let's just see what that does. Okay, you probably can't see from the front. Let's just see if you can see it from the side. Yeah, can you see the logo moving into the cloth like that? It's pushing through the back, look. So you get all these really nice creases. So obviously, to make this look really sharp when we render it, we want to put the cloth in a subdivision surface. So you click on cloth and Alt and subdivision surface, and you get all this really nice smooth cloth. So if we just have a quick render there, we haven't got any textures on yet, but you'll see you've got these really nice creases reacting to this logo, which is kind of pinching. There's a few little issues here that which we can solve those by going Control D, and we go to simulation, and where we've got sub steps and iterations, we can actually play around here by going something like 20 and then bringing iterations up to like 10. We can damp it a little bit more as well, just so it's float, so it feels like it's more floating in water than, you know, acting too quickly. Collisions, we can probably just go 4 and 1 or something, and just try that again. Let's see what sort of effect we get. It will slow it down a little because we've pushed up some of these numbers. But what I'm hoping we're going to find here is we're not going to get the logo geometry poking through the cloth geometry. You know, it should react a little bit better now. We've got more iterations to work with. Yeah, it might be the odd little bit, but probably not going to see it from the front. What are we getting here? We've got some odd things happening here. Okay, let's go up a little bit more then on the sub steps, and then iterations down to 5. You literally just got to keep experimenting with these, because what I've found is some simulations I have the sub steps low and the iterations high, and sometimes the other way around. It just depends what the scene is you're working on. Okay, I don't think we're getting so many problems now. I think it's looking nice. Let's turn off subdivision while we're doing the render. Sorry, while we're running this through, because it can slow it down quite a lot. Okay, so I'm just looking at. I think that's not bad actually. So let's just frame this up so we get it nicely in the scene like that. Okay. And then if you turn those back on, and a quick render there, I think it's looking nice. Look, you know, it's poking around the front, so it really feels like there's a lots of action and depth going on with this material. Right, so that's really the effect. So not a very long video this time. I just wanted to show you what you can do with cloth and what you can do with bringing in a spline. Now it's really all about texture in this, getting some really nice materials going on. And some of my examples I showed you earlier, we had some meshes and some background. You can see, you know, the mesh, you can see through the mesh to the background, which was quite a nice effect. So you can add a mesh onto this, and they're all in the asset browser. You don't need to create all of these. We can just go and grab a few nice materials. So I'm just trying to think. Yeah, let's do one with a mesh. So I just want to show you the mesh actually. So if we just go and search for metal, then we've got these kind of meshed ones here, which are really nice. So this one, this steel gratin here, if we go for that one, and then if we apply that to the cloth, now it's really big at the moment, and we need to scale it down to say 5 and 5 there. Okay, and then what we need to do as well, just so we don't see the background and we see a different color, is we can add another plane into here. Let's put it in plus Z, bring it back. Now we can just put a nice color on that, and I think I was doing oranges and things because of the Nike logo, but you know, just whatever color you like really. Put that on the plane, and then you can see this, we've got this really nice effect now. Look, it's a really technical effect, isn't it? It especially works for a sport brand like this. So if we take that up to there like that, let's just make that a bit bigger so it fits the cloth. And then obviously we need to zoom in on this, but I think you'll agree that is a nice effect. Now we haven't got any lights in the scene yet, and what I'd like to do with this is use the HDRI sky lights, which I'll show you how you do that. If we go to Asset Browser, type in HDRI and go to Auto, there's loads and loads of scenes here that we can have reflect back into this scene. So let's just choose just the studio one for now, something like this one. Just drag that into here, and then we'll put a sky on here, and then we'll put the studio onto that, and so we don't see it behind here, we need to right click and add under render tags. We need to put a compositing tag on here and uncheck scene by camera. We also need a texture material on the logo itself, so something nice and shiny. So let's just have a look at plastic and see what we've got. Yeah, let's just go for this green plastic, and let's just put that on the logo. There we go. So let's just have a test render. I think we may have to use global illumination for this, and it'll bring all the shadows and stuff back in, but you know, without too many adjustments, that's not looking too bad. I mean, obviously we haven't got any reflection in this surface yet, so I'm just wondering, so if we go on sky and we go on coordinates, we can actually spin this image around like this just by moving it around, so you can see it's highlighting and catching the edges. Now I just wonder, I don't know if have we actually got enough Beckman. Yeah, it's got loads of reflection on that. So if we just tilt this, you'll probably see that how the light, you see that, you can see that image in there. So yeah, it's getting tons of light from the HDRI file here, you see. Let's put on global, let's go physical renderer, and let's turn on global illumination. Take a little bit longer, but it will add probably better lighting, shadows and everything else. So let's just wait for that to do that. So yeah, it's really just a very simple effect of getting the cloth to actually, let me just stop that a minute, because let's just stop that rendering. Here we go. If we go back to cloth, we haven't got enough stretchiness and bendiness. We can make this look even better. So if we go 555 or something, just really pump those two up and then go back. Let's see what we get now. To add more bend and stretch to this material. And let's see what this is going to do. It should, oh, it's probably going to start coming through the surface now, so we probably need to change a few settings again, but see, it's a lot more creased now, look, because it's allowing it to bend and stretch a lot more. Yeah, but we have got a few little issues there. I mean, we can get around this if we go to the attractor, which is what's causing this pinching and pushing this through. And we go to fields, we can actually put a spherical field here, shrink it down so it's the bit's affecting there, and then we can go to remapping and say invert. Okay, so then what that should do is it should apply the effect around this like masked area we've just made here with the spherical field. I'm hoping anyway. I think it will. It seems to be working better than it did. Yeah, it seems to be doing that now. Okay, so if I just take the camera out, I'll just show you what's happening. So the logo is going back through the material, it's passing back, and then you're seeing this color in the background. Okay, so we could just put that color on there. So we've got the sort of green on green. It's quite a nice look. I don't know if it will show up as much, but just play around with these colors, you know, just especially with these meshes, you know, you get a really nice kind of voile kind of mesh look between it, which is really good. And you can layer this up and you can have two lots of material, both with meshes on at different colors, and they can overlay each other, so you start to get this nice build up of mesh layers and colors. It's a quick render just while I'm signing off, really. So yeah, have a play, use your logo, use any logo from the internet, get a vector, import it, get the spline, and then extrude it to get this shape. Okay. If you want any of these scene files that you've seen here and all of the examples I've been doing, there's a link below the video if you just want to grab these, have a look at how I've set them up. And it's, I don't know, I think it's about £1, sort of $1.50 or something at the moment. It's on a really good price. So yeah, if you want that, it's below. Just let this render. Yeah, look at that. It's quite nice, isn't it, having the two colors the same, because you've got this mesh kind of breaking up the background color. Yeah, just play around with lots of different files, lots of different textures and materials and things here, and layers, and the turbulence of rotation and the tractor. Just play around with all the settings, go to the project settings, you know, Control D here, look, and have a look at sub-steps, iterations. It will change the whole look of this. But I hope that's been useful. Please leave comments. Please give me, sorry, can't even speak. Please give me a subscribe. I'm desperate to get to 1,000 now, and then I'll be able to do a lot more of these if I hit that magic number. So yeah, give me a like, give me a subscribe if you want to, grab the files if you want to, comment if you want to, and look, it's all highly grateful for any comments and any likes that I get. Really am. So love doing this stuff. I want to do more. I will do more. And I'm going to go now because I'm talking too much. My name is Mike German, Visual Animation. Take care. Goodbye for now.